Hey Cat Gangers, DEVA here with another exciting video. The Stereo Festival just launched and we have so many new events, weapons and things to farm. Today I will cover the best possible builds for the Dante Charge Blade and give it a little review on how it compares to our current meta. First of all, to upgrade this Charge Blade you will have to get the Unity symbols, which can be obtained by doing the A Shocking Climax event quest. For the people that don't have the high-rank version of it, you have to do the event quest called Dread, which contains Teostra, Anjanath, Odogaron and Rathalos, and can be found on the high-rank event quest during this festival. If you're new to this weapon, I have a really good Charge Blade complete guide video that will definitely help you a lot to understand its mechanics, showing you all the combos, how to guard point, which skills are important and what they do, how to decide between elemental or raw charge blades, and Savage Axe or SAD gameplay. So I will link it in the description, be sure to check it out. If you have any questions about Charge Blade, it will answer it for you. Let's go back to the Dante Charge Blade and have a look on its stats first. 1008 raw, which is super high, 0% affinity and 210 element. It has 100 hits of white sharpness, which is actually insane. It may has less raw damage than the Gold Rathian and Safi weapons, but it definitely is way more comfortable in fights. It has impact files, which means the files only scale from artillery, the foot skill Phaelin Bombardier and raw damage. Our goal is to get as much raw damage as possible, since element is very irrelevant on impact charge blades and can be seen just as a nice extra. I have made 5 different builds for you guys, which are Classic Master Touch SAD build, a Savage Axe build, Artillery 5 build, a Health Boost build, and the no level 4 decorations for the people that just started the game and still have the high rank decos. Let's start with my favorite build, the classic SID DPS Master Touch build. We have all the important skills in for Charge Blade, which are Focus, Capacity Boost and Guard. 100% affinity on tenderized weak spots and extra 6 Thunder Attack. Thunder Attack may not help much, but on Thunder weak monsters it's a really nice extra to have, and there it will for sure outdamage the Gold Rathian. Offensive Guard is also a nice boost for SID melees, which do about 500 damage, but also boost your file damage. So doing a perfect timed guard point into SAD will do massive damage. Augments will be 1 affinity, 1 health regeneration and 1 element for all of the following builds. Our second build is a Savage Axe build, and here we just replace 3 offensive guard with 5 agitator, which will give you a massive constant boost on damage. I see a lot of people using offensive guard for Savage Axe gameplay. Don't do that. Offensive guard lasts only for 20 seconds, meaning if you switch to sword and shield mode just to activate offensive guard and then have to go back into Savage Axe mode, it will waste way more time than you would gain on that 10 seconds of slightly damage increase. Literally just useless for Savage Axe gameplay, unless you do some really complicated speedrunning action where you can force it to activate while going at the same time on Savage Axe. But Savage Axe and Offensive Guard are really not a thing, never use those two together. The third build is the Artillery 5 build, and I know most of the people are just following what others say without to do any research on their own, and will be like, oh, the math has been done, it's not worth to use it, and this guy said so we won't use it. Well, I see no point not using it. We still fit all the same skills in, have 100% affinity, and because of the Dante Charge Blade having so much white sharpness, you will be dealing simply more damage than the classic Artillery 3 blade build. Also, not all people can hit the melees of the SAD, and just like to SAD UNGA BUNGA and whatever hits, so this build is way more efficient for cavemans like me and guiding lens grinding. The only reason why it would lose on damage, or why Artillery 5 loses over Artillery 3 on damage, is because the EFR drops when the sharpness drops to blue. But Dante Charge Blade having so much white sharpness that it will barely drop to blue, and then you can just resharpen and it will be mostly one sharpen during the whole fight. So yeah, Artillery 5 is definitely more damage as long as you can fit exactly the same skills in minus Master's Touch. So here is a comfortable health boost build without dropping almost any damage. The loss of 3 thunder attack is basically nothing and you won't even cut 5 seconds of a hunt. I know a lot of people aren't as experienced on guard points, so I really do recommend you to drop offensive guard for anything else you wish if you want to have more comfort. For example, 2 more guard levels or guard up or even protect polish and stuff like that. The no level 4 decoration budget build is accessible by just dropping 6 thunder attack and offensive guard. Here again the damage loss is so incredibly tiny that it won't be noticeable. Element on charge plate has a really bad motion value, which means all the damage on the melee attacks is mostly coming from the row. Offensive guard wouldn't be anyway always active, so yeah. This will not extend your hunting times even by a few seconds. And these were the best possible builds for the Dante charge plate. If you wanna know if it's viable or not, the answer is very simple: yes, it's very viable. You deal a bit less damage than Safi weapons, but your white sharpness will last 3 times longer. Don't let people tell you to not use other strong weapons only because Safi does a tiny bit more damage, and that on fully optimized upgraded builds. Almost every single weapon in the game is viable, and as long as a build is correct and contains no meme skills, and meaning having all the important skills in like 100%, crit, focus, capacity boost and all that stuff, the differences at the worst case will be 10% less damage between the best and the worst weapon. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video guys, and if so be sure to leave a like and comment of what you want to see next from me during the Sarah Festival. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications because I upload multiple times a week and try to cover new content as fast as possible. With that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting guys. Don't forget